Welcome to Super-Hero Pow. I'm your host nerd, Tom Fremgen. Let's face it, the proper DC universe is a mess. Have you seen poor Robert Venditti sweating his brains out trying to fix Hawkman's history recently? Or Jeff Johns' Doomsday Clock, as he tries to figure out how Rebirth isn't a reboot of the New 52, which in turn wasn't a reboot either because, hey, everyone likes the Watchmen, don't they? And should I even mention the ridiculous amount of mumbo-jumbo that went into explaining how pre-New 52 Superman, the guy married to Lois with a son and living on the Convergency world, is actually the same person as the New 52 Superman? The guy who is younger, dating Wonder Woman, and of course now dead. And what about Wonder Woman? Just what the hell is her origin this week? Seriously, I think a nun needs to show up at DC Entertainment headquarters with a ruler and just start whacking people. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Because it's time for everyone at DC to stop thinking so hard and take some advice from the late great DC editor, the father of the Silver Age, Julius Schwartz. It happened on another Earth. You see, in the past, whenever DC's continuity got sloppy, or fans would ask, how could so-and-so not know so-and-so in issue number X when they already met in issue number X-, Julius/DC would reply, it happened on another Earth. Fans might not have loved the answer, but at least it made sense because DC had infinite Earths. So that's what DC needs to get back to, a proper functioning multiverse. Because what's the point of having a multiverse if you're not going to use it? So let's just skip away from this current messed up timeline. No need to reboot it. No need to destroy it. Let's just move to another Earth. Or rather, back to the way it used to be, when characters could live peacefully side by side on the comic book rack and not screw up each other's continuity. Since they all lived on a different Earth. 10 of them. That's not too confusing, is it? A mere 10 worlds where each character is free to be what they are, instead of trying to fix everything with a reboot every 10 years or so. Now, before I list these worlds, let me state clearly that this is about embracing DC's history, not destroying it in a mad effort to fix it. Now, here are my 10 recommended Earths for the DC Universe. Earth 1. This is the traditional DC Earth with the Justice League of America and the Teen Titans, where Superman was never Superboy, Batman had his year 1, Hawkman is from Thangard, the Amazons are a technologically advanced society, and Cyborg had his roots in the Teen Titans. Earth 2. This is the Golden Age DC Earth with the Justice Society of America, whose children and grandchildren grew up to be Infinity Inc., where Huntress is Batman's daughter, Power Girl is Superman's cousin, Hawkman is from Egypt via reincarnation, and Sandy the Golden Boy became Sand, a leader of the Justice Society. Earth 3. As always, this is the opposite supervillain world with the Crime Syndicate of America, where Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Diana Prince, Hal Jordan, and Barry Allen became Owlman, Ultraman, Superwoman, Power Ring, and Johnny Quick, respectively. Earth 4. This is the Earth with the Charlton action heroes, Captain Atom, Peacemaker, Judo Master, Son of Vulcan, Blue Beetle, and others. Continuing with their most recent DC, not just Charlton, history. As for the likes of Renee Montoya becoming the Question, or Reyes becoming the Blue Beetle, you could do that on this Earth, or leave the original characters on Earth 4 and have these newer characters their Earth 1 equivalents. Just as DC did with Black Canary many years ago. Earth 5. This is the world of the Fawcett heroes. Captain Marvel and his family, Spy Smasher, Bullet Man, and on and on and on. My so-called clever idea to keep their history intact, though, is to have some sort of time displacement story. So they all had their adventures in the 1940s, then a big time displacement story took the whole Fawcett City, as it were, and have it pop up into modern time about 3 years ago. That way everyone can have adventures in the modern world without dealing too much of, what's an Uber? You see, this multiverse idea is about having your cake and eating it too. Next up, Earth 6. This is the classic Silver Age DC Earth, where Superman was Superboy, and therefore in the future, the Legion of Superheroes can have all their adventures with Superboy and Supergirl. And that would be the main focus of Earth 6, It's where the proper legion of superheroes are. Earth 7. This is the Marvel Earth. As in, the home of the champions of Angor, or the Justifiers, or the Assemblers, or whatever you want to call them. Hey, Marvel makes a ton of money with the Squadron Supreme, so it's only fair that DC can do the same. I'd also recommend filling out the traditional team of Wandjina, Jack B. Quick, Silver Sorceress, and Blue Jay with the likes of General Glory, the Atomic Knight, and the Behemoth. Because if you're going to steal Marvel characters, why are you starting with the Wasp? Earth 8. This is the current DC Earth, with all the superheroes on one Earth. The JSA, the JLA, the Charlton Action Heroes, Shazam and the Shazam Family Singers, the Legion, the Legionnaires, the Kitchen Sink, Zero Hour, Rebirth, Unbirth, Dogs and Cats living together, blah 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 blah. Earth 9. This is the Vertigo Earth, or kinda, as many of the Vertigo series don't play well together. So I'm not really sure a vertical Earth is needed or is possible. But in an effort to have 10 Earths, which sounds much better than 9, here we are. Earth 10. This is the Earth with the quality superheroes. Uncle Sam, Plastic Man, Phantom Lady, and etc., etc., etc. While all the original heroes died out after the Axis won World War II, you remember that? Earth X, Roman numeral X, 10, you get it. Today's legacy heroes have taken up their mantle in hopes of finally freeing the world from the Nazis. Basically like how Grant Morrison set it up in Multiversity. See, embracing history, not steamrollering it. Anything I didn't mention, like the Watchmen or the other billion of Earths Grant Morrison created, can still exist. They're just not part of the main, day-to-day operations of the DC multiverse. The 10 amazing worlds of DC Comics. See what I did there? If you did, you're old. Oh, and future stories like Kingdom Come and The Dark Knight Returns go back to being what they were. Possible future tales with no bearing on current continuity. So maybe they're the future of Earth 1, and maybe they're not. And who cares, really, because that's what makes them fun. So then, how does DC use this multiverse? Well, on the first page of each comic, in the old-fashioned intro box, remember those? It'll simply state which Earth the adventure takes place on. No need to explain more than that. If any new reader doesn't understand, they can just Wikipedia it. So then Jeff Johns' new Shazam series will take place on Earth 8, Batman's comics will take place on Earth 1, Power Girls comics are on Earth 2, Super Sons is on Earth 8, and Cosmic Boy is on Earth 6. And they can still all get together whenever they want to do a crisis, just like they did in the old days. Back when crisis meant multiverse crossover, not just, let's kill some characters off. And if DC ever wants to forget a story ever took place, 52. It just happened on another Earth. Simple, right? Now, of course, there will be some casualties to figure out. Justice League International, for one. Did Power Girl and Blue Beetle move over to Earth 1 for a while? Or did it all take place on Earth 69? Dude. So sorry, but I just don't think there's any perfect way of doing this. The DCU is so big and old and seriously just cobbled together. Hell, Action Comics, Detective Comics, and Flash Comics were all owned by 3 different companies before investor Harry Donfeld glued them all together. So DC's continuity was never very pretty. But these 10 core Earths will help preserve the best history of all these characters and wipe away the stink of the reboots and don't call them a reboot and the current what the f continuity. Now, go write your congressman, or maybe you should just write somebody at DC Comics, and tell them to stop trying to fix the unfixable and move back to a functioning multiverse. Until then, thanks so much for listening to me ramble on, and be sure to let me know what you think is the best way to fix the DCU. And when you're done with that, be a buddy and subscribe. Come on, I'll be your best friend. On another Earth.